People deluded, I'm back again. Qarabağ 0, Arsenal 3. And with that being said, we might as well provide player ratings or judge the performances. I must admit, people, I know I always get in trouble for my ratings. I know most people can see my logic. Most people can just accept that most people can have an opinion. But some people genuinely get wound up. But it is what it is. On one hand, it's a difficult game to review. It's not even a difficult game because I don't want to talk in extremes because I don't necessarily think we were terrible, but by the same logic, there were concerns defensively. I do believe there was an air of complacency. I don't really necessarily feel, despite the fact we've scored 3 goals, we were as efficient possibly as we could have been. So yeah, it's a mixed game. So it's not difficult to judge the players' performances, but yeah. I start with Leno. I'll be generous. I'll give Leno a 7 today, purely because at times players were making, because of the complacency that was in the air, it looked like people were trying really, not that they were playing bad on purpose, but it looked like he was going to have to try really hard to walk away with a clean sheet from this, because it did. I don't feel we were troubled, and it weren't like, like last week against Watford, I weren't troubled whenever Qarabağ went forward like we were going to concede, but they were putting in some decent crosses. I don't necessarily feel the back five, Leno included, were talking as much as they could, or the communication didn't look levels as much as it could, because too many people, especially with the centre halves and the fullbacks, the opposition are able to get too many runs on them, and Leno can see it all, but he's no one's dad, so he shouldn't be held accountable for that. I felt he made a lot of good saves. I was impressed with his ball playing when it came off at times. Like I said, man, Qarabağ weren't really quality in front of goal, and he didn't face a barrage, so it is going to be OTT. But I felt he definitely should get a 7. Probably on review mark it down to a 6, but he can walk away with a respectable rating. I'll give Socrates a 6. Like I said, the back 5 it was as a point, 6 including Leno, if you can count 3 at the back or whatever, 4 and 5 in the second half. But I felt Socrates at times, I mean, he was part of the calamity, but he shows that he's probably at this moment in time the one centre half you can look at and say, giving a bit of consistency. I like the fact that he was talking, telling people not to be silly. He ultimately scored the first goal that got us going. I thought he was alright today. Decent passes forward today. Dealt with some tackles. It wasn't a perfect performance, but yeah, he did alright. So 6. Holding a 5. As much as I love Holding, like I tell you, look, he's extremely naive, and he's making progress, but that's what's going to help hold him back. At times, probably marking the strikers too much, over covering at times. Got skinned on a couple of occasions as well, but he did all right with some passes, some recovery tackles. I felt he never looked like he was playing poor. I couldn't have any confidence in him. I felt he had a good game today. He had a good physical test. Whether these players are household names or not, they're very street smart. They appeared very seasoned, and I felt Holden was given a good game today that he can walk away with several things to improve upon. So a 5. I think Liechtenstein was poor today. I must admit, people, like everybody, I like him. I like the professionalism he comes with. But when he came to this club, like all of us will all admit, you were looking at the sign like a bit and initially I was like that. Then I started to warm to the idea and actually wanted to start a couple games. But I must admit, people, I haven't been impressed with the 2 outings he's got in the Europa League. I felt at times, like Kola, over-covering. He was good going forward, don't get twisted, but defensively, I felt he was very easy to go past today. And if I scrutinise both sides, I do feel they had more. They definitely had a lot of joy down Kola's side. But for me anyways, down Liechtenstein's side is the side I believe that a goal was going to come from if it was going to. So, yeah, man, he gets a 4. Maybe I'm being harsh, but he gets a 4. Kohler, he gets a 5 just on the basis of the first half. He looked like, between him and Iwobi, they looked like someone that was going to make something happen. I thought he had a very good game, actually on the large scale of it, in a going forward sense. Defensively, there's a lot wrong with Kohler. Like we've said, the concerns are there. Many a times getting caught flat-footed. I don't want to blame Iwobi because Iwobi was tracking back, so it definitely wasn't his fault why it was 2v1. But many a time he's getting caught 2v1. He's over-covering. The thing that concerns me as well is that he's very, I say the best strikers, the best centre-half, are proactive, or the best defenders, fullbacks, whatever, are proactive. They expect things to happen. They read runs. Too often they're not. We're reactive. We're reacting to this mad run that's been made. And I felt Kohler was guilty of that on far too many occasions today. I felt they got the run on him a couple of times. And maybe against more higher quality opposition, they make us pay for that. But I felt he had a decent game. That's not to say I don't think he didn't put in some composed some composed tackles. Felt his forward play was alright. He done his customary roulette today, so he could walk away with a 5. Nene, I think he gets a 5 just about, literally just about. Maybe if another harsh examiner remarks the test, it might be something else. I felt the energy was there, the work ethic was there. He always puts in his shift. It's just really lacking for quality. And clearly Unai Emery told you to play in a different role today, but it just felt like you was possibly a bit too attacking minded for my liking today. It weren't that he played poorly, like he just done the El Nene stuff, so he should really get a 5, just about 5. Guendouzi, he gets a 6, that extra point literally just for scoring, or he'd get a 5 as well. Surprisingly, again, he probably typifies what I'm on about, because on one hand, I don't feel we were terribly, shockingly poor, like we can't look at these players in the face again, but on the other hand, I felt we did alright, and he typifies that. On one hand, progressive passes, all action display, the commitment levels are there, he draws fouls, them things there were all there. He obviously got his first Arsenal goal, but on the other hand, for me, he gave away the ball a lot of times more. I would love to see the stats. Felt he gave the ball away a bit too often, especially when he's not really being pressed or there's any real danger, because he's very good in tight spaces and the ball at his feet. I thought it wasn't quite there today. I felt at times probably overrunning it, and then I don't know if he's expecting a foul. The foul's not there, putting us in pressure, under pressure. The quality was probably not lacking a bit of sharpness that he normally plays with, but by the same logic, he looked like he was going to make something happen in a passing sense, and the second half was a bit more composed, so he gets a 6. I give Emile Smith a 7. Now, admittedly, people, excluding the other players, I'm going to be a bit more lenient on the man. I'm harsh on him because it's not academy football anymore, but I'm going to be a bit lenient on him. Like, I won't hold him to quite as high standards as the rest at this moment in time, purely because you know you're not going to get that out of him. And he showed it again today, what I'm on about. What I mean by that is he's a terrific young player. I've got a lot of time for him. He's the maze he runs, the work ethic. He'll put himself around. He can draw fouls. He wants the ball to feet. He wants the ball to feet, whether it's on his weaker peg or his stronger foot. He deserved his goal today for application. But probably, if you're being critical, the next step for him is refining. He's got the technique, but refining that quality, making sure out of them 10 passes, out of 10 passes you play, 9 passes or even 10 out of 10 to the same standard, because at times the passing was a bit inconsistent. Decision making at times in the first half in particular, he probably could have scored if he sorts out his feet and sorts out his decision making a bit more. Probably just needs to refine that final third quality so that people can have faith in you and expect you to deliver the goods in attacking positions consistently in the Premier League. But I feel he deserved his goal today, man. He put himself around. He wanted something to happen. Obviously, he's got a point to prove. He wants to play Premier League and all these things despite his young age. So I'm going to be a bit more lenient. 7, man. And it's a terrific moment for Hale End. Those who don't know, Arsenal's academy training ground in Walthamstow. I know these players are playing professional football now and they're being called superstars, but once upon a time they were under 6, under 7s, under 8s, and people had to do a lot for them, trying to train them. People had to scout them. Their parents obviously put in commitment as well. So credit to their parents and credit to Hale End, because this is what it's about. Like, one player in a Iwobi set up another, 2 players that come through the academy. So it's a terrific chance, man. And not too many youngsters have been given opportunities, excluding Guendouzi, but he's a first teamer in regards to Unai Emery in the Europa League versus Wenger last year. And Emile Smith is one or the only that has, and he's taking his chances. So yeah, Monreal gets a 5. Weren't the best of games. Came off at half time. Obviously, I felt Iwobi gets an 8. For me, probably the best player on the pitch today. I'm so happy to see Iwobi confident, man. I told you guys not to write him off, man. And he's pushing. For me, he should start on Sunday, against Fulham. Whether it's in that fake 10 position that Ramsey occupies or on the left wing, because he had that fullback on toast. He obviously got an assist. The link-up play was there. He put in a shift defensively, so I can't even explain. I don't even know how Cola was getting 2v2'd against, because there weren't too many times where we didn't track back. He put in a terrific game today. And what I like about him, he's playing with that swagger that he plays with for Nigeria. Like, he's believing in himself now. He's gassed now. Like, I'm seeing him nutmeg people out. Even though he could have got a yellow, I'm seeing him push man over because they're pulling him. And that's the swagger, because that's probably one thing. It don't make sense, but it goes against Iwobi in that it's testament to his family and the way he is as a person, but he's probably a bit too humble on a football pitch for considering that you're at Arsenal and you're actually better than people give you credit for, man. And I'm terrific. I'm terrific form so far this season. The main thing is to continue it, get goals and assists, and you're doing the assisting right now. Wells gets a 5, if we're honest, pretty much anonymous, but was involved in one of the goals, and he worked hard and gave us that Welsh stuff. Torreira, I must admit, he was a bit quiet as well. The passing weren't quite there. I don't feel he was as sharp in a tackle. It's obviously hard coming off the bench, so I give him a 5. I don't think I'm missing anyone else out. Lacazette, I believe he got an assist, and he looked lively when coming on, but realistically, he weren't on the pitch long enough. But if anything, just to humour you guys, I give him an 8. 7, that's a bit of OTT. Ozil, a bit the same, probably a 5 if anything. But yeah, people, while on one hand I don't feel we played terrible, there are question marks over how we defend. The main part is 2 wins from 2. We go to Sporting. Are they at our home or are we there? Either way, we play Sporting. Whoever wins that puts themselves in a great position, possibly 3 games played, 9 points. So we'll see how it goes. But for now, DG, I'm out. We look forward to Sunday against Fulham. Get in the comments, subscribe and do the rest. Thank you for watching.